Hi children, good morning to all. So we are in the first chapter. In the first chapter we completed the important this agricultural practices, crop production and management, preparation of land, then sowing, then adding manures and fertilizers, irrigation, everything is over now. All the plants are growing without any healthy problems. All the plants are growing very fast now. But after 1 or 2 days of this manuring, or after 1 week of this manuring, when we are visiting our crop field, we can see along with our crop plants some other plants are also started to originate. They started to germinate because they are also receiving very good living conditions. Good manure is there, good fertilizers are there, water is also they are getting. That is why along with the crop plants some other unwanted or undesirable plants are also growing in our crop field. This unwanted plants or undesirable plants, they are growing along with our crops, is called weeds. Kala. Okay. Unwanted plants, they are growing along with the crops. The timely removal of these weeds is also very essential. To ensure the proper or healthy growth of plants, we have to remove all these weeds. The process of removal of these weeds, it is called weeding. This is the process called weeding. Weeding can be done manually or by using the chemicals such as weedicides. Manually we can do by simple uprooting of the weeds. We can do this weeding, but in case of large scale cultivation, it's not possible to remove the weeds manually. At that time, the farmers are using the chemicals called weedicides. Weedicides, one of the examples 2,4-D. Weedicides. Weedicides are the chemicals used to remove or destroy the weeds. The best time for the removal of these weeds, that's this destruction of weeds, that is before they start to produce the flowers and fruits or seeds. If they started to produce the seeds and fruits, what will happen? They may fall on the ground again. Then the next generation of weeds also may comes out. Just after the removal of this first generation, the second generation also may start to originate. So the best time for the removal of this weeds, that is before they start to produce the seeds and fruits or flowers. Then this, while using this weedicides are the chemicals, they may never destroy the crop plants, but they will kill the weeds. While using this weedicides, we must cover our mouth and also this nose, and also use gloves and others while handling with these chemicals. We have to dilute the chemicals by adding water and sprays throughout the field. These weedicides are not, it is not good for our this soil. If you are using any natural means of weeding, that is good, or by this manually we are doing, that's good for our soil and also for our crop plants. But in large extents, it's impossible. At that time, the farmers may adopt this chemicals, weedicides. Okay, weedicides, they can kill or remove the weeds. If we are not removing the weeds, what will be the condition? They may start to grow more fastly than our crop plants, which will result in the less production or less yield. Okay, after weeding, what is there? All the plants are ready to grow very fastly. After 1 or 2 months, the next step is the harvesting. That means they start to produce the fruits and flowers, and grains also may be there. So we want to wait for 1 or 2 months for this harvesting. Harvesting is also considered as one of the important tasks, because in case of small scale cultivation, nothing, that's not a matter. By manually we can do this harvesting. But in case of this rice, wheat, etc., this kind of cereals, harvesting is also considered as an important task. Okay, these laborers, human beings, laborers can do this harvesting. Most of the time, or nowadays, harvesting is by using a machine called a harvester. Harvester is using for this purpose. Tractor driven harvester is using for this harvesting purpose in case of large scale cultivation. After harvesting, what is the next step that we studied in the 6th standard? What is it? The separation of grains from the chaff or from the stalk plants. We have to separate all the grains. The separation process is called the threshing. After harvesting, the next step is the threshing. That is the separation of grains from the chaff. Nowadays, it is also by using machine. The machine thresher plus harvester, That is in a single machine called a combine. Combine is a machine used to used for this threshing plus harvesting. That is this machine named a combine is using. So now we studied about two practices. What are they? Weeding and also harvesting. Okay, the remaining part we will discuss in next class.